Watch. Roland, still plenty game, will punch off the ropes and counter with his own right. First $1 million game since the famous Dempsey Tunney long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone stunned by the fury of Lewis's attack.
What's happening, my people? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Today, it's Fantasy Matchups Monday. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker versus the Legends. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker versus the Legends. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. The legendary Thomas Hill Hashtag JBT. Just Do Boxing. The Voice. Mike Magic. Melanin Queen 27. The best moderator in the history of moderators. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, The Box Historian. How's everybody today? Back at the beginning of another big week of boxing history. And we're going to start out as usual with fantasy matchups Monday. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker on the hot seat today. He's going to Pernell fought like 5 weight classes, so he's going to go from like lightweight all the way up to junior middleweight. How about legendary lightweight from the 20s? How would him and Sweet Pea look? The legendary Henry Armstrong, Mr. Champion in 3 different weight classes simultaneously. That Henry Armstrong missed 4 by a controversial draw when we only had 8 weight classes. He was almost champion in half of them. The other boxer was like, come on, Henry, let somebody else be champion. And just imagine Sweet Pea and Willie Pep, 2 of the top defensive fighters of all time. That would be a doozy. That would probably come down to who could get the offense off first, because both of their defenses were so great. Then we come up to the 70s. Sweet Pea against the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Woo! That would be a tough one for Sweet Pea. I know he had that great impregnable defense, but could it hold up for 15 rounds against Roberto Duran's relentless pressure attack? Well, we're going to see today. How about that Conceição and Oshaki started it? Conceição came ready. He fought a much better fight than he did the first fight. They could have gave him this one. I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Terry Akers in the building. My favorite sister-in-law. Who's Curtis? Terry is Cass Sports. Salute, Terry. How are you today? Good to see you. That's my wife's sister, my favorite sister-in-law. Terry Akers. Salute. Technique in the building. What's up, Technique? How are you today? How was everybody's weekend? Do anything exciting and different? As long as everybody had a safe one, so we could meet back up here today. But yeah, Roberto Duran and Sweet Pea. Could that defense hold up under all that pressure for 15 rounds? Because Roberto going to bring it for 15 rounds. We're going to look at it today. And now remember, this is just what I think. I need to know what y'all think in the chat too. This is not necessarily what would happen. It's just how I see it, you know. And I got a couple of active guys in there too. At the end, I got 2 active fighters that Pernell going to go up against. You'll find them out at the end when he go up against the 2 active guys. Yeah. Lightweight. Pernell fought from I think he went from featherweight to junior welterweight. I know he won titles at he was lightweight, junior welterweight, and junior middleweight. Yeah, he's a 4-division champion. He made the list when I did the show on the people that had 4 more titles in 4 more weight classes, remember? The Sweet Pea made the list. Had that great defense, man. I mean, Sweet Pea could. You know how you drop something and you bend over and pick it up? Like a 90-degree angle bending over. Sweet Pea could almost bend over like that backwards. You know? Yes. Man could do crazy stuff with his upper body. You know? Could stand right in front of people and make a miss. Didn't even have to move his feet. But he did have great footwork too. But yeah, we got he's Ike Williams, great lightweight from the 40s. Kid Gavilan, Sweet Pea going to face all of them today. The great legendary Salvador Sanchez. Now we're going to do something with Salvador. You know, he had that fatal accident at 23 and passed away in 82. But we're going to look at him and Sweet Pea as if that didn't happen. They're going to be fighting about 1989, you know. Salvador would be about 29 years old. Yeah, we're going to match him up then. A lot of people would think this, because 89, Sweet Pea only had 15 fights, because, you know, he had Olympics 84. A lot of people would have thought he wasn't ready then, you know, but yeah, we're going to see what happens at lightweight. Salvador didn't go past featherweight, but if he would have lived by 89, he would have been up around lightweight by then. So him and Sweet Pea going to match up at lightweight today. Going to be a good show. So we got fights this week called Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I got mixed up. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul isn't until next weekend, right? I know last week I was saying it was Saturday, but no. But we do have Keyshawn and his brothers Friday. Because we got a card Thursday from Montreal, Canada. Arsley, Elacius versus Petro Ivanov. Yeah. I don't know too many people on it, but it's boxing. Thursday. Yeah. And I don't know what network it is. ESPN Plus. Okay. So ESPN Plus going to be busy this weekend because that's them Friday too. But Keyshawn, that is a great card, man. Keyshawn and Gustavo Lemos. I would say that would be Keyshawn's toughest fight to date. Gustavo brings that pressure. And we got Troy Osley as the co-main. Gets Tyler Howard, middleweights, and then Abdullah Mason on the card. Johan Vasquez, and Keyshawn's brother Calvin Davis, and I think Keon, his younger brother, is making his debut. Junior middleweight, yeah. Calvin is a junior welterweight, and yeah, Keon is the biggest of the three. He's the youngest, but he's the biggest junior middleweight. Robert Merriweather, just a great card. And then you know what it is Saturday from Philly, Boots. And guess who? Kern. Boots and Kern again. Man. If Kern does fight the same way, I hope Boots has learned how to cut the ring off and will do a better job, because I know nobody wants to see that again. Nobody wants to see Boots chase that man around that ring for 12 rounds again. But it's Saturday. I'm pretty sure Boots has improved on that. But Kern, I've seen Kern fight before, and Kern gets in there and mixes it up sometimes. He don't always fight like that. And I don't like calling fighters runners, but Kern ran, man. Just call it for what it is. But I've seen him in fights where he mixed it up in the pocket and stuff, man. Yeah. So maybe he won't be so intent on not getting knocked out this time and mix it up with Boots. And then Bam is on the card too. Bam going to be up there in Philly, yeah. Bam is the co-main against Pedro Guevara. Bam is putting his WBC junior bantamweight title on the line. And Raymond Ford. Raymond is making his debut at 130, junior lightweight. I think he stayed at featherweight one fight too long when he lost to Nick Ball, you know, but that Riyadh season money was back was calling him, so Raymond stayed one more fight, lost his title, but it was a good fight. It could have went either way, but you can't be mad. I had picked Nick Ball before the fight, but I thought Raymond had pulled it out, but can't say robbery because it was a great fight, you know. Could have even had a draw, but Nick pulled it out. And now I think Nick's next fight is in UK. You know how those UK fighters do. When they win that belt, if you want it, you got to go to the UK to get it. They're not coming out of there as long as they got it. Nick didn't go back to the Riyadh season. He told Turkey Al-Sheikh, sorry, you got to have Riyadh season in the UK if you want me on the Riyadh season card. The UK fighters don't play that. Now, they come out of the UK to fight for a title, but if they got it, you got to go over there and get it. Austin Williams, Ammo on the card. Yeah, but yeah, then what y'all think about that Mike and Jake next weekend? You think the no knockout clause is in effect for that one? Yeah, like the no knockout clause was in effect for Floyd and the brother. What's the brother's name again? You know, Jake's brother. But also on that card, we got Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. It's 10 rounds, 2 minutes. Amanda had said that she wasn't fighting anymore 10 rounds, 2 minutes, but this one is. She even dropped the WBC belt because they wouldn't sanction the 12 rounds, 3 minutes for the women, but she must have changed her mind because her and Katie is going 10 rounds, 2 minutes. I guess the first one was for that, so. But yeah, boxing is looking good. And guess what? Mario Barrios is on the card against Abel Ramos. Yeah. Barrios WBC title. I hope Mario wins. If him and Boots both win, maybe they can hook up. Because Mario will take the smoke. I ain't got Mario ducking nobody. Barrios. And Shadeja Green is back in the ring again. Belinda Watpool. This is for the vacant. Oh, Shadeja's going for another title again. She fell short against Grand Charm for the WBC last year, remember? But now she's going for the WBO super middleweight. Okay. Shadeja will probably get it this time. Man, that is a great card. Shushu on the card. Yeah. Shushu is going up against Dana Well. Now, this is next weekend. Getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but yeah. And then we got the next Riyadh season coming down the pike too. That's next weekend too. Yeah. That's going to be, which one is that? Zerto. Yeah, Zerto and Chris Billiard-Smith. That could be good. Zerto and Chris Billiard-Smith. Yeah. You know, that's cruiserweight. Jose Ramirez and Arnold Barboza Jr. Man, boxing is in great shape. That should be a good fight too. Jose Ramirez and Arnold Barboza. Yeah, two veterans. Let's see. Yeah, knockout CP Freshmart. He's got a brother named something else, CP Freshmart too. Just Oscar Colasso, Oscar Duarte, Kenneth Sims Jr. Don't sleep on that one. Williams Apeta, Tevin Farmer. Oh, that's the same card, man. Oh, that's the same card. That's the next Riyadh season, next weekend. And we're going to get started in about 5 minutes on the fantasy matchups. We always wait till about 2:30. Got to time it out, you know. And we got another raffle coming up, too. I don't have a commercial in yet, but 50-50. Going to be cash this time. However much cash we take in, the winner gets half. Okay? And $5 to get in, and you get 5 for 20. Now, remember, last time we had the block, and Michael Garner had 7 blocks. It was block 3 for 25. Michael Garner had 7 block of 25s and won 2 of the 3 prizes. So that should tell you the blocks is the way to go. Get that 5 for $20. Mm-hmm. And that will be drawn December 21st. Get that Christmas money. Get little Junior that present he wanted, you know, for Christmas. Off of the JBT raffle money. Mm-hmm. Make little Junior happy for Christmas this year. Let's Talk Fashion in the building. What's up, Let's Talk Fashion? Sorry I missed the meeting yesterday. I put a message in there. I was out in the streets taking care of some business and I couldn't get back in time. But one time you had called me and told me what happened, but I guess I don't get that preferential treatment all the time. But salute Let's Talk Fashion in the building. Coming up Wednesday at 10 a.m. Is it fashion or is it clashing? Let's Talk Fashion, hashtag JBT. Fire fashion show. Who else has a fashion show? Outside of the JBT, I don't know of anybody. We are a versatile organization, a fire organization, F-I-Y-A, fire. Yep. But fantasy matchups Monday. Pernell Whitaker against 15 legends from different eras. 2 fighters that's currently actively fighting. They're the last two. You got to stick around till the end to see who they are. Okay? There's Melanie Queen got it in there. The big raffle coming up. I will have a commercial in tomorrow. 50-50 raffle starts right now. Gregory G.P. Pratt was the first one in, and he got the block of 25. 20. 5 for 20. 5 chances for $20. 1 for $5. Okay? And like I told you, Michael Garner had 7 blocks last time and won 2 of the 3, so that's the way to go. And whatever we take in, the winner gets half. December 21st, right there before Christmas. You can get my present out of that money. I don't want much, you know. Just send me half of what you get. I'll take cash. But yeah, 5 for 20. You can't beat that. But just $5. But you got to play to win. $, JBT Network, all capital letters, the number 1. And you are in there. Coming up December 21st. So you got over a month. Got a long way to go. Yep. The JBT next raffle is on the way. We've had 2 very successful ones so far. D1 won that big 55-inch TV. Michael Garner, he won some Kaneki Bear headphones and an Apple 10th generation iPad. And Cut Creator won an air fryer, won a Ninja air fryer. And they have all received their prizes. Yep. So get in. But yeah, I was talking about the fight this past weekend. I wouldn't mind seeing Conceição and Oshaki again, but Oshaki is focused on the winner of Oscar Valdez, Emmanuel Navarrete too. So, and if he gets the winner and beats that fight, maybe he'll give us Conceição again, because Oshaki and Conceição seem like just a good matchup, man. Where when they fight, you just can't get any separation between them. Because Conceição fought a much better fight this time, man. And he got tired in the later rounds, but he smothered Oshaki, and Oshaki couldn't get his arms extended to get those punches. When he could get his arms extended, he was having success, and he hurt Conceição bad one time. But Conceição is a veteran fighter. 400 amateur fights, Olympic gold medalist. Ain't too much he haven't seen in that ring, man. And he did a great job. That's the best I ever saw him, was Saturday. Yeah. And he said Oshaki should give him the rematch like he gave Oshaki, but you know, Oshaki is looking at unifying. So, but maybe if he unifies, we will get that one again, because that seemed like a great matchup. It was a good fight, good high level chess match. But I don't know about y'all, but it seemed like to me Oshaki had a bad habit of letting up at the end of rounds, man. You know, like the last 15, 20 seconds, he just stops and waits for the bell. I mean, I seen him do that a number of times. Where, you know, there was openings and he could have put an exclamation point on some of those rounds. And Conceição stole a few of them because Conceição kept bringing that pressure. And Oshaki should have learned from the first fight that some judges ain't worrying about effective aggression. Some judges just judge on aggression, you know. And Conceição stole a couple rounds at the end, certainly. Because I saw Oshaki a number of times, man, just the last 15, 20 seconds to stop and wait for the bell. But it was a close fight. I think it was, 115, 113, all 3 judges, right? But they got it right. They got it right. But you couldn't have been mad if they had went with Conceição. Great fight. And just like I always said about Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor, Oshaki and Conceição, that series has trilogy written all over it, man. But maybe we'll get it. They both still actively fighting. And but Conceição has earned another good fight because he acquitted himself very well Saturday night. And the fans won. Raymond Murray-Tyler, man, he made a statement. Nobody had did that guy like that before, and he been in there and get some big names. Nobody done him like Raymond did him, you know. Raymond is going for a title shot. Who had Tank, Shakur, and I think Loma. Does Loma have a belt? And the other guy from the Ukraine. That would be Raymond's best bet to get the other guy from the Ukraine, because I don't think he's beaten Tank or Shakur. Nah. Because Raymond had trouble with boxers. Yeah. And he had trouble with that boxer, Slugger, that monster from Baltimore. Everybody had trouble with him. But it was a great job by Raymond. Let's get ready to get into this fantasy matchups Monday. Pernell Whitaker versus the Legends. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today. Give me a couple hours of your time. That's all. And we're gonna have Just Do Boxing coming up at 4, the regular schedule. We had Crest the Legend with the coffee and the donuts this morning. Hope everybody getting up, checking that out, because that is a good show early. He got me getting up 6 o'clock in the morning. That's on work. I thought I was going to be sleeping in, but because of Crush, I got me getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, man. Mm-hmm. Great show. And then Jay Hardcore in the Hangout. Past Sports at 2. Just Do Boxing at 4. BBO Boxing TV at 8. And the Mighty Rise Podcast at 9, shutting it down. And stop. Okay. 3 minutes. I started early last Monday and I had technical difficulties for like 20 minutes. We got like 2 minutes before we're going to kick this thing off. Got a beautiful slide display today. Beautiful. I don't know what's going on now. Always something. I'm in brand, I think. It won't move. Maybe it's getting ready to do it to me again. Oh, no, it ain't. There we go. Yeah, Pernell Whitaker. Next week it's going to be Roy Jones Jr. against the Legends next Monday. Why didn't go over the week? I don't have no idea what's going on this week. Tell you the truth. I know Thursday is boxing in the States, and it's going to be Minnesota this week. And Friday, the profile is the life and career of Max Schmeling, the German fighter. Had those 2 iconic fights with Joe Louis. Now, it wasn't necessarily good fights because, they both were knockouts, and Joe Louis got Max out of there in the first round in the second fight. But they were big, iconic fights. Remember the second fight, Joe Louis got called to the White House, and President Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, told him that the free world was riding on him winning that fight. Don't get too much more iconic than that. And Joe already had pressure on him because Joe had said that he was the champion, but he said he couldn't call himself champion until he got his get back against Max Schmeling. So he had put pressure on himself, and now the president telling him he depended on him winning because, the Nazis was acting up over there in Germany. And, the President Roosevelt felt Joe beating the German would take him down a peg. So Joe didn't play with his food, went there and got him out of there in the first round. But Max Schmeling, we covered that Friday. He's the profile Friday. Life and career of Max Schmeling. But, a lot of people didn't like him because he was German, but he was not associated with the Nazis. He didn't support the Nazis, never joined the party. Yep. And him and Joe Louis became best of friends later in life. He was a pallbearer at Joe Louis's funeral. Okay, let's go with today's show. All right. It's 2:30. Let's do this. Now, in the words of the great Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. Now, being a defensive fighter is important because it allows you to minimize damage. A solid defense can help you avoid punches, reduce the impact of incoming blows, and create opportunities to counter. Okay? Conserve energy. Prioritizing defense can help you dictate the pace of the fight and frustrate your opponent. It can increase your chances of winning. A good defense can help you put yourself in a position to capitalize on opportunities and increase your chances of winning. A good defense can help you stay agile and balanced. Good footwork can help you move away from your opponent quickly, so you might not even need to block a punch. Anticipate your opponent's punches, okay? Anticipate your opponent's punches. So that's the word slide of the day there. Sorry about that. Now, by analyzing your opponent's habits and tendencies, you can better anticipate their punches and execute parries. And parrying is a defensive technique that involves deflecting an opponent's punch with your hands. A successful parry can leave your opponent vulnerable for a brief moment, allowing you to set up a counter shot. Now, before we get started, let's look at Sweet Pea's career right quick before we get started. You know, how you do. He's the subject of today. Let's look at his career right quick. Kensaw Love One in the building. What's up, Kensaw Love One? Good to see you today, my friend. Kensaw Love One has become a CAS Sports regular. Appreciate him 1,100 million%. Salute. And Jarrell Hattie in the building. What's up, Jarrell? How you doing today? You behaving yourself out there? Okay. Salute Jarrell Hattie in the building. Okay. I don't know why I still write people's names. I'm not going to be able to do it when I start getting 200-300 people in here. But salute Kensaw Love One and Jarrell Hattie in the building. Yeah, let's take a look at Sweet Pea's career real quick before we get started. Just a brief look at it, you know. Okay. Now, Pernell Whitaker. Now, he competed from 1984 to 2001. And after he retired from actively boxing, he became a boxing trainer. Now, Whitaker was a 4-weight world champion, holding titles at lightweight, junior welterweight, welterweight, and junior middleweight. In 1989, he was named Fighter of the Year by the Ring Magazine and the Boxing Writers Association of America. And he currently holds the longest unified lightweight title reign in boxing history at 6 title defenses. And he is generally regarded as one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time, right? And as an amateur, Whitaker won a gold medal at the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, California in the lightweight division. And he had a total of 46 fights during his professional career, winning 40, losing 4, 1 draw, 1 no contest, and 17 wins by way of knockout. And Whitaker was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility in 2006. Okay. Fantasy matchups Monday. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker against the Legends. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker against Benny Leonard. Okay, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker against Benny Leonard. Benny Leonard, the Ghetto Wizard. Okay, one of the great nicknames, the Ghetto Wizard. This fight will be at lightweight, 135. Now, Benny Leonard, also known as the Ghetto Wizard, a little bit about him first, held the World Lightweight Championship for 8 consecutive years, 1917 to 1925, and is considered by most boxing experts one of the greatest lightweights of all time. Legendary trainer Ray Arcel, who trained many world champions, including the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran, said Benny Leonard was the best fighter he ever trained. And Ray Arcel trained like 20-something world champions. He said Benny was the best he ever trained, okay? And Leonard was known for his speed, excellent boxing technique, and ability to think fast on his feet. He was also a hard puncher with 70 career knockouts. He competed in the lightweight and welterweight division during his career. Okay, now let's take a look at the Whitaker-Leonard matchup. Okay, now who would win this truly great fight at lightweight between two of the best the division has ever seen, right? Now, Whitaker has the more awkward technical style, but Leonard is the more well-rounded and naturally talented fighter. Whitaker was at his best against fighters who came right at him or stood in front of him. Leonard would likely have success using his superior foot speed and fast right hand. And Leonard was also very good at maintaining a distance at which he was comfortable and wanted to operate at. But Leonard would be going against arguably the best defensive fighter of all time. So scoring on Whitaker would be very difficult, as it was for everyone Whitaker faced. Now, I think Leonard was slightly more skilled than Whitaker, but only by a fraction. And they were basically evenly matched in size, both with a 69-inch reach, and Whitaker stood at 5'6" to Leonard's 5'5". So basically evenly matched in size. Now, prime versus prime. The outcome of this matchup depends on when the fight took place, okay? Now, if Whitaker goes back to the 20s, he takes the L. Leonard takes the L in the 90s. Now, if they meet in some middle ground, Leonard wins pre-1960, while Whitaker wins post-1960. In other words, I can't call it even. Okay, but Pernell Whitaker versus Benny Leonard, very good matchup. Depends on what era the fight was in as to who would win it, you know. Leonard fought it in the 15-round era, Whitaker in the 12. Each wins in their era. Very evenly matched fight, okay? Pernell Whitaker versus the legendary Henry Armstrong. Pernell Whitaker versus Henry Armstrong. Give me the glasses. There we go. 100% better. I should have been here, Deco. Now, there's Henry. Armstrong was champion. A little bit about Henry. Armstrong was champion in 3 weight classes simultaneously: featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. He defended his welterweight title a total of 19 times. And at the time, when he was champion in 3 weight classes simultaneously, the sport of boxing only had the 8 original weight classes. And many boxing experts and historians rank Armstrong as the second best boxer of all time, pound for pound, behind only the great Sugar Ray Robinson. Armstrong is widely thought of as top 5 at featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. So how would this fight between Sweet Pea and Homicide Hank play out in the squared circle? Okay, how would this play out? Remo says, majority draw, Cass. Yeah, majority draw. Exactly, Remo. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. Yeah, majority draw, Remo. Thank you. Thank you for that. I couldn't call that one. Yeah, majority draw. They fight 5 times. They probably have 5 majority draws. 2 evenly matched fighters there. Yeah. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. Okay. Now we're going to talk about Sweet Pea and Henry Armstrong. Homicide Hank, another great nickname. Homicide Hank. So how would this fight go between Sweet Pea and Homicide Hank? Now, Henry Armstrong was one of the greatest inside fighters of all time. He was the literal definition of aggression, and Armstrong could keep up a high work rate for 15 rounds without slowing down. Now, Whitaker is an all-time great, especially defensively. And in the early rounds, a fresh sweepie could probably keep Armstrong consistently off of it. But as the rounds go past, Homicide Hank would constantly close distance by slipping, ducking, and weaving under Whitaker's jab. Now, Pernell depended a lot on his natural athleticism when it came to his great defense. But dealing with Armstrong's relentless pressure and aggressiveness round after round would slow him down. Sweepy would win some rounds, though, but and outbox Homicide Hank at times and have some flashes of brilliance during the fight, but I don't think Whitaker had the power to keep a fighter like Henry Armstrong off of him consistently, and the pressure and pace Armstrong fought would keep Whitaker more defensive-minded and would lead to a decision win for Homicide Hank, 12 or 15 rounds, okay? 15 would be about 9-6, 12, 8-4, not wide, but kind of wide, because Homicide from the middle of the late rounds, Homicide Hank would take over, okay? Because he like a Durant, he had that relentless pressure, and physically and mentally, it would wear Sweepy down eventually, Homicide Hank by unanimous decision, okay? In that one. All right, next. Fantasy matchups Monday today. Pernell Whitaker versus Ike Williams. Ike Williams. Them some beautiful pictures, ain't it? Ike Williams. Oh, Homicide Hank was at, that's important. I didn't tell y'all the weight. Lightweight, 135. And Ike Williams is also at lightweight, 135. Ike only fought at lightweight his entire career. This fight is at 135 also, okay? Ike Williams. Now, yeah, that's important to remark. I got to get those scores. Thank you for reminding me of that, yeah. Majority draw for the first one. Benny Leonard and Sweet Pea and Homicide Hank beat some, 9-6, 15 rounds and 8-4, 12 rounds. Talking about Henry Armstrong, man. The man was champion in 3 weight divisions at the same time when it was only 8. And he missed being champion in half of them by a controversial draw. He really should have been champion in 4 to 8. And he was defending featherweight and welterweight at the same time, 21 pounds apart. Incredible. But Pernell Whitaker versus Ike Williams at lightweight, 135. Okay, there's Ike. Now, Ike Williams, a little bit about Ike, how we do it. We get a little bit about the challenger first. Now, Williams competed at lightweight for his entire professional career. He captured the world championship in April of 1945 and reigned for 6 years until 1951. Now, during that run, he made 8 successful defenses of the title against 6 different fighters. He was selected as Fighter of the Year for 1948 by the Ring magazine, winning all 10 of his fights that year. And Williams was a well-rounded fighter. Some boxing experts from his era called him a lighter, more nimble version of Joe Louis. So let's look at this matchup between these two great lightweights. We had the slick southpaw Whitaker with the great counter-punching skills, underrated body punching, and a supreme defense. Then we have the explosive slugger/boxer, Ike Williams, with quick hands, crushing power in both hands, and the skill set to set up his shots. Tough fight. Now it goes the distance, 12 or 15 rounds. I think Williams beat the better competition at lightweight, but he competed at 135 his entire career, while Whitaker fought top-level competition in 4 different weight classes and made many of them look amateurish. Now, looking at their resumes, Williams never faced anyone as slick as Whitaker or anyone with his defensive ability. Now, on the other hand, Whitaker faced fighters similar to Williams, the boxer, puncher, stalker types, and they had major difficulty scoring on him consistently. Now, Whitaker did well against all styles, made adjustments, and dealt with power too. I just don't think Williams would be the puzzle Sweet Pea could not solve, okay? So Sweet Pea wins this one a little wide, 15, 9-6, 12, again, 8-4 for Whitaker, okay? Sweet Pea beats Ike a little wide, okay? Okay. Salute Bruce Gas, Boxy Jazz, and boy in the building. Next, Pernell Whitaker versus the legend. The legendary. Now, this is going to be a good one here. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker versus the Will o' the Wisp, Willie Pap. Two defensive wizards, man. Two defensive geniuses. This fight is at featherweight. We're going to go down to featherweight, okay? Because I don't think Willie came past featherweight. I'm not sure Sweet Pea fought at featherweight, but he's fighting at featherweight today, okay? 126. Two of the top three defensive fighters of all time. There's Pep, Sweet Pea, Floyd. That's the order I got them in. But you know, many historians, experts switch them around. But I ain't mad at you, but those are the top three, whatever order you want to put them. I got Pep number one defensively. But Sweet Pea ain't far behind. Now, Pep is widely regarded as one of the greatest defensive fighters to ever step into the squared circle. The often repeated legend about the Will o' the Wisp is that he once won a round without throwing a single punch. In 1999, the Associated Press named Pep the greatest featherweight of the 20th century and the number 5 boxer overall of all time. Whitaker versus Pep would be a battle between two of the most fleet-footed and greatest defensive boxers of all time. At his best, Whitaker was nearly impossible to hit, and any fighter that can win a round without throwing a punch, like it said Willie Pep did, has to be great, no doubt. Now, a fight between these two boxers would be a tactical and technical affair. The size difference would probably be too much for Pep, but you can't be sure how well Whitaker would do against a fighter that's just as elusive as he was. He never faced anybody like Pep that was just as elusive as he was in his actual career, okay? But because of the size advantage for Sweet Pea, Willie might make it dirty like he did in his win against Sandy Sadler. But as great as Pep was, he probably would have been too small to execute his game plan effectively against Whitaker. Pep never fought above featherweight until the very end of his career. The matchup against Whitaker might be a bit of a mismatch, but Pep's all-time great defense would likely keep him in the fight, okay? I'm gonna say 8-7. Okay. I know I said it might be a mismatch, but it might not either. 8-7, 12, 8-7, 15, and 7-5, 12. Close fight because two great defensive fighters. That Sweet Pea pulls it out basically because he just, the size differential. Pep was a small guy. He never went past 126 until late in his career, and Pep went all the way to junior middleweight. So Sweet Pea pulls that one out. Okay? I haven't been keeping track. Okay. Pernell Whitaker versus the Legends. Pernell Whitaker versus Kid Gavilan. Ooh, changed on his own. I didn't even hit the button. Mike Grimm in the building. What's up, Mike Grimm? Good to see you today, bro. Always a pleasure. One of my day one people, Mike Grimm, and still in the building. Salute. Pernell Whitaker versus the Legends today. Kid really like 5 in. You didn't miss much, Mike. Kid Gavilan. Now this fight is at welterweight, 147. Because Sweet Pea went all the way to 154. junior middleweight. Okay. Kid Gavilan, 147, welterweight division. Now, Geraldo Gonzalez, better known in the ring boxing world as Kid Gavilan, right, was one of the many great Cuban boxers. Okay. He was the undisputed welterweight world champion from 1951 to 1954. And undisputed at that time was the New York State Athletic Commission title, the National Boxing Association, which turned into the World Boxing Association in 1962, and the Ring Magazine titles. Okay. And it had all of those simultaneously from 1951 to 1954. And he was the Boxing Writers Association of America Fighter of the Year in 1953 during his title reign. Now, Kid Gavilan's boxing style was characterized by his signature bolo punch, a combination of a hook and uppercut. And Gavilan is credited with inventing the bolo punch, which he claimed was inspired by the motion of swinging a machete to cut sugarcane. Okay, so let's look at Sweet Pea versus Kid Gavilan. Sweet Pea versus Kid Gavilan. Now, this one would be a close competitive fight, and it's safe to say it would go the distance. Now, Gavilan is more proven at welterweight than Sweet Pea, and with his skills and ring intelligence, would score on Whitaker consistently. Now, Gavilan was also the bigger, rangier fighter, but Whitaker was the better, pure boxer. This would be a really close technical fight, and I feel sorry for the judges who would have to score this one, okay? Now, Gavilan may have been able to punch through Whitaker's defense since Sweet Pea didn't really have the power to keep him off. But Whitaker was an all-time great who knew how to win. So take the controversial loss to Jose Luis Ramirez away, and he didn't lose a fight until well after his prime. This is a tough one to pick, but I'll take Gavilan. He did his best work at 147, and his slashing, punching style and the way he always threw punches in bunches would be successful against Whitaker's defensive wizardry. Gavilan wins by a razor-thin split decision. Okay, both fighters, another 8-7, 8-7, 8-7. 8-7 for Whitaker, and two judges had an 8-7 for Gavilan. 12 rounds, 7-5 for Whitaker. The other two had it 7-5 for Gavilan. And that's 143, 142. And going at 115, 113. 2 out of the 3 for Gavilan. Razor-thin split decision for Gavilan. Okay? I told you. Pernell Whitaker against Carlos Ortiz. I told you Sweet Pea against the legends, man. The legendary Carlos Ortiz. Okay? And I got 2 active fighters too. But you can't find them out till the end. So you got to stay and see. 2 active fighters at the very end. Okay? Now, Carlos Ortiz, this is Gavilan was at 147. I told y'all that, right? Yeah. Ortiz is back at lightweight. Pernell Whitaker versus Carlos Ortiz, 135 lightweight. Okay? Now, Ortiz is considered among the best Puerto Rican boxers of all time by sports journalists and analysts and Cast Sports The Box Story. He holds the record for the most wins in unified lightweight title fights in boxing history with 10. Okay? Now, let me see. You might say, well, you said Sweet Pea had that, but no, there's a difference. Sweet Pea is as unified champion, right, with 6 defenses. Longest unified lightweight title reign, 6. Ortiz is in actual fights for unified. He was in 10 unified title fights. Understand the difference? Sweet Pea was the champion over 6 longest unified lightweight title reign, 6 title defenses. Ortiz was in 10 unified title fights. Okay, that's the difference. Now, Ortiz was a skilled boxer on the outside and a quick-headed, physically strong slugger on the inside. He scored a first-round knockout in his professional debut, right? This matchup between Whitaker and Ortiz would be a good one. And again, it would go to distance. Not many knockouts today. Okay. Now, Ortiz showed he was effective against southpaws and speedy outboxers. But I think Whitaker would prevail in a prime versus prime matchup. Whitby was just as skilled as Ortiz and had more tools and tricks in his arsenal. I would give Ortiz the better resume of the two fighters as far as the lightweight division, but Whitby would be a little too slick for Ortiz, along with his elite defensive skills. But Carlos was a skilled and intelligent boxer with the ability to fight effectively inside or outside, and he would arguably be Whitaker's toughest test. Now, Sweepy wins by a close unanimous decision. They were still fighting 15, so 8-7, 143, 142, 12 rounds, 7-5, 115, 113. But all three judges give it to Sweepy. But close unanimous decision. Now, here we go. Pernell Whitaker versus the Hands of Stone. Roberto Duran. There it is. The Hands of Stone. Roberto Duran. This is at lightweight. Got to be at lightweight. Okay, this fight is in the lightweight division between Pernell Whitaker and Roberto the Hands of Stone Duran. Now, the Hands of Stone had a 33-year professional career from 1968 to 2001. Okay, Duran and former heavyweight champion Jack Johnson are the only boxers to have competed over a span of 5 decades. Longevity, right? Now, Duran was known as a versatile technical brawler and pressure fighter with formidable punching power and excellent defense. He won 71 of 72 fights during the 1970s. Now, this fantasy matchup between Pernell Whitaker and Roberto Duran in their prime would be very interesting, but probably not a barn burner of a fight because Sweepy was a clever boxer and did not allow fighters to drag him into wars. But this would be a fascinating matchup between two legendary figures in the sport of boxing. Now, they had different styles and strengths, so that would make the fight even more intriguing. Now, Duran's aggressive style would likely clash with Whitaker's defensive prowess. Now, if Duran could apply pressure effectively and land significant punches, he could potentially overcome Whitaker's defense. But if Whitaker could maintain distance, utilize his speed, and frustrate Duran with his movement, he could possibly win on points. So Duran would be the bull, and Whitaker would be the matador. Okay? Now, Duran would find it difficult to hit Whitaker consistently for the first half of the fight as Sweepy moves, ducks, slips, slides, and counters. But the judges would still give Duran a share of the rounds based on nothing but his aggression, right? Then the second half of the fight, Duran would continue to bring his relentless aggression and pressure. And late in the fight, it would take a toll on Whitaker, mentally and physically, similar to the Henry Armstrong fight, and eventually would slow Whitaker down enough for Duran to control the later rounds. Like I said, similar to the Henry Armstrong matchup. Duran earns a close decision win, but the judges scored widely due to his aggression throughout the fight. But you know, Sweepy had a history of bad scores from judges, right? Now, Duran did earn the win, but the judges scored a little bit too widely. They had it like 9-6 and 8-4 when it was really like it was really a close fight. 8-7, 7-5. But you know how Sweepy always got a bad rap from the judges. But they ran by unanimous decision. You know, that pressure, relentless pressure, just, you know, Sweepy slowed his legs down, and Sweepy just couldn't keep up the defense against the, you know, relentless pressure guy like Duran. And he's going to bring it for 15 rounds. Duran wins that one unanimously. Okay. Next is Pernell Whitaker versus Alexis Arguello. The explosive thin man. There he is on the left. The explosive thin man, Alexis Arguello. That was his nickname, the explosive thin man. And we're going to get some link time at the end. Anybody care to come up and express their thoughts on the fights or anything like that, or put it in the chat. I just appreciate you coming by listening to me today. Okay? Lights looking good. Okay. Pernell Whitaker versus the explosive thin man, Alexis Arguello, at lightweight, 135 again, lightweight. Okay? Now, Alexis Arguello was a Nicaraguan professional boxer who competed for 27 years, from 1968 to 1995. He was a 3-weight world champion, featherweight, super featherweight, and lightweight. Okay? Now, he challenged twice for junior welterweight, trying to get his 4th division. But he lost both times to Aaron Pryor in famous, iconic fights. He lost both times. Now, this fantasy matchup against Whitaker is another good one. Alexis Arguello is the pick of many as the greatest super featherweight who ever stepped into the ring. He's going up against Pernell Whitaker, the defensive wizard who makes up the top 5 as an all-time lightweight. Now, both Whitaker and Arguello are popular picks as being one of the top 20 fighters of all time, pound for pound. And there's a contrast in styles between these two fighters. Whitaker, all angles and trickery with great footwork and reflexes. Arguello, patient and deliberate and capable of exploding with devastating power to turn the lights out on opponents. But less so at 135. Now, does Arguello's significant height and reach advantage make it difficult for Whitaker to run the show with his jab? Does Arguello carry sufficient power up to 135 to defeat Whitaker? And can he plant his feet long enough to land cleanly and decisively while Whitaker is working his magic? Now, I lean slightly toward Whitaker in this one, weathering some uncomfortable parts of the fight before taking a narrow but clear 15-round decision. Whitaker by narrow but crystal clear 15 rounds. Again, 143, 142, 8-7, 115, 113, over 12, 7-5. Whitaker, okay? Over Alexis Arguello, the explosive thin man. Pernell Whitaker versus the Legends on Fantasy Matchup Monday. Next is Pernell Whitaker versus Wilfred Benitez. Wilfred Benitez. There's Benitez. Okay? Everybody hit that appreciation button. Appreciation button is the like button in the JBT. Just boxing talk, that's all. This is at welterweight. Pernell Whitaker, Wilfred Benitez at welterweight. Okay? Now, Benitez is one of the top 5 Puerto Rican boxers of all time. He's a 3-division world champion, winning his first title, the WBA junior welterweight world title at 17 years old, making him the youngest champion in boxing history, and a record he still holds to this day. And Benitez fought 3 of the legendary 4 Kings, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and Sugar Ray Leonard. Now let's examine Whitaker versus Benitez. Now, though Sweet Pea won titles at higher weights, he was a natural lightweight. Now, Benitez was a natural welterweight. He had incredible talent, but he wasted most of it. Now, Whitaker-Benitez fight would be a defensive and athletic marvel, but quite boring, as both fighters would do a lot of circling, looking for openings, and would depend on, as most fights do, which fighter imposed their will on the other. Now, unlike most opponents Benitez faced, Whitaker had at least as good, if not better, defense. But crucially, Sweet Pea was not as good on offense because he lacked the power which Benitez had, okay? In the end, Whitaker could match and top Benitez's speed and fluidity. But could he nullify Wilfredo's offense with one of history's great defenses? Now, many analysts might lean towards Whitaker due to his superior defensive capabilities and adaptability in the ring. But Benitez's talent and experience would certainly make it a competitive fight. At 147, it's really a tough fight to pick because Benitez was bigger and more natural at the weight. Now, Whitaker had the work rate and jab edges, but Benitez's size advantage equals speed, as he was coming into his zone physically at 147, and counterpunching could have come into play as Benitez had a great sense of spacing. Now, this matchup is really difficult to call. It's almost 50-50 at 147, but I'll give a slight edge to Whitaker because of the quality of his jab and angles. Plus, Benitez was known to not take training seriously, and that would definitely be a factor against a slick boxer who moved as well as Sweet Pea did. Whitaker wins a razor-thin split decision. 15 rounds, 8-7, 143-142, 12 rounds, 7-5, 115, 113. A lot of close fights today. Now, this is a good one here. This next one is a very good. Listen closely to this. Listen very closely. Pernell Whitaker versus Salvador Sanchez. Pernell Whitaker versus Salvador Sanchez. This might be the best one of the day. At 135 lightweight. Now, I know Salvador Sanchez never went to lightweight, but this is if he hadn't had that tragic accident and continued with his career. He would have eventually got to lightweight, okay? Now, Sanchez is the greatest what-if story in boxing history. Many of his contemporaries, as well as boxing writers, believe that had it not been for his premature death, Sanchez could have gone on to become the greatest featherweight boxer of all time. Sanchez died on August 12, 1982, in a car accident while driving in his native Mexico. Sanchez competed for 7 years from 1975 to 1982, and he had a total of 46 fights. He was a WBC and ring featherweight world champion from 1980 until his death in 1982. And Salvador Sanchez, now Sanchez passed away 2 years before Pernell Whitaker turned professional. But let's take a look at this hypothetical matchup and what possibly could have happened if Sanchez's career had continued, okay? This is really fantasy. Now we're gonna look at it if Sanchez had kept on fighting, hadn't had that tragic accident. Now by 1988, Sanchez would have moved through featherweight, then super featherweight, and at 54 wins and 1 loss was now the reigning WBC lightweight world champion. The 29-year-old Mexican warrior had not lost a fight in 11 years. Today, he is making the second defense of his lightweight title against 15-0 Pernell Whitaker, a gold medal winning member of the 1984 U.S. Olympic boxing team. And many felt Whitaker was too green for the in his prime Sanchez. But Sweet Pea and his team were confident they were ready for this fight, okay? Now, early in the matchup, both fighters probed each other, with the champion, Sanchez, steadily building up pressure. But the only problem was Whitaker wasn't there to be pressured. Sweet Pea's able footwork and the southpaw stance kept Sanchez from finding the right footing to land fully half the time. And when he missed, Whitaker's speed and skill were sufficient to time Sanchez's head movement and land sharp single counter punches. Okay? Now, Sanchez had success in the middle rounds and scored a knockdown in the 7th round after a big straight right hand found his mark. Now, Whitaker survived, more stunned than hurt, right? Now, Sanchez didn't bring all his power up from featherweight with him. Plus, he usually shined against punchers and aggressive fighters. Whitaker's defensive counter-punching style was a terrible matchup for Sanchez, and Sweet Pea gave Sanchez major problems in the late rounds. And then it was time for the ring announcer to read the scores. The first judge had it 115-111 for the defending champion Sanchez. The second judge had it 114-112 for the challenger Whitaker. And the third judge had it 114-113 and the new. Okay. Next is who's next? Aaron Pryor. Aaron the Hawk Pryor at junior welterweight 140. I don't think Pryor fought anywhere else, did he? But 140. Yeah, technique is just crazy. What he's thought of, and he only went to 23. He's still thought of as one of the greatest Mexicans of all time, and greatest Mexican fighters of all time, and one of the greatest featherweight fighters of all time, and never went anywhere near his prime. Right? So just think if he would have had a complete career, what he would have been, man. Wow. It's crazy, scary to imagine how good Salvador Sanchez could have been, man. Aaron Pryor at welterweight, junior middleweight, welterweight, 140. I don't think Aaron Pryor fought anywhere else but 140. Junior welterweight, Aaron Pryor, the Hawk. About 5 more to go. We're gonna get some link time about 3:30. Aaron Pryor, 140. Now, Pryor's boxing style was unorthodox, wild, and relentless. And he was known for his ability to take a punch. The Hawk named his style of boxing pure violence, okay? And Pryor had a 14-year career from 1976 to 1990 that included winning the junior welterweight championship 2 times between 1980 and 1985. Now, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on Whitaker in this matchup. Okay? People might be surprised. I would put my money on Whitaker. Pryor had a top-level gas tank and never stopped punching. But missing punches takes a lot more out of you. And Pryor would be doing a lot of missing against Sweet Pea. And it would leave openings to be countered by Sweet Pea all night. This fight could be similar to Mayweather-Madonna, where one fighter was swinging shots and the other fighter was countering in between the opening, okay? And there will be no mysterious black bottle for the Hawk in between rounds as he gets outboxed by the superiorly skilled Sweet Pea. Pryor would win some rounds on work rate alone, but ultimately, the better boxer will prevail. Whitaker wins by UD, and I believe it would be wide, like one, not that wide. Again, like 9 rounds to 6, 8-4 round in there. 116, 112 for 12 rounds, something like that. But Sweet Pea by unanimous decision. Okay, we're winding down now. Okay, Got like 4 more. Okay. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today on Fantasy Matchups Monday. Back at the beginning of another week of boxing history. But next is Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, I got 3 of the 4 kings, but Hagler for that middleweight. Hagler didn't go up and down. The sweep, he never went past junior middleweight, so they won't meet today. But Sugar Ray Leonard is next. Okay. At welterweight, 147. Welterweight. Okay. Now, Ray Leonard was one of the legendary 4 kings of the 1980s and is one of 5 boxers to win world championships in at least 5 different weight classes. And these pound-for-pound fighters that won titles in all these different weight classes found success because they masterfully carried the same speed, power, and top-level skill set to any division they competed in. Now, Leonard is also top 10 on any website, magazine, boxing expert, historian, or box historians pound-for-pound list. Okay, Leonard top 10 on all of them. Now, Whitaker versus Leonard at 147. Who wins? Size is a key difference. Leonard was a natural welterweight who beat fighters as high up as 168 pounds. Whitaker was probably at his best between 135 and 140 pounds. Now, Leonard was beaten by a natural lightweight in his prime, Roberto Duran. But Whitaker had a very different skill set from the legendary Roberto Duran. And when thinking about the Whitaker versus Leonard matchup, 2 fights come to mind. The first one is Leonard's 1979 decision over Wilfred Benitez. And much like Whitaker, Benitez was a defensive genius. And in that fight, Leonard and Benitez consistently made each other miss. Ultimately, Leonard's power and remarkable will to win made the difference. And the other fight I think of that comes to mind is Whitaker's 1999 decision loss to Felix Trinidad. And of Whitaker's 4 career losses, the one against Trinidad was the only clear-cut loss. Now, Leonard had a different style and wasn't as destructive a puncher as Trinidad was, but Sugar Ray could commit to his shots when he needed to. And Sugar Ray had too much strength and power, which when coupled with his blistering hand speed would create a risky environment for Whitaker to box in his usual manner. And it would be a tactical fight and a cautious one for Sweet Pea. Sugar Ray wins by unanimous decision. Why? Okay, Sugar Ray wins that one by unanimous decision. We're winding down now, okay? 3 more. Next is the Hitman, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Now, this might be the easiest one to pick on this list. This is part of the easiest fight on this list to pick. Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Pernell Whitaker versus Thomas the Hitman Hearns at 147. Now, the hit coming up after this is the 2 active fighters that he's going to face. Okay? Thomas Hearns. This fight is at welterweight, 147. Okay? Now, the Hitman is another member of the legendary 4 Kings and the club of the fighters that have won world championships in 5 or more weight divisions. As a matter of fact, Hearns was the first boxer to conquer 5 divisions. And the Hitman also had a long career competing professionally from 1977 to 2006, nearly 30 years, okay? And this might be the worst matchup on this list for Sweet Pea. Hearns was too talented of a boxer to finesse. And with the lack of power Whitaker had, I just don't see how he could pull out a win against the Hitman. Whitaker was one of the most naturally gifted fighters ever. And that extremely good defense, and he had an extremely good defense and was very fast. But many people forget that Hearns was a master boxer too. And he would have significant size advantages against Whitaker, right? Including 7 inches in height, and 9 inches in reach. Okay? Many people pick Sweet Pea to win this fantasy matchup, and that's very surprising to me. I think Whitaker would probably need a miracle to win against Hearns. Whitaker would bob and weave here and there, but Hearns isn't the type of fighter to wildly flail away. After a couple of misses, the hitman would simply step back and reset. He used that all-time great jab to adjust and find the range. And Whitaker would have to get close to even make it a fight, which he would have major difficulty doing. Hearns also had an underrated left hook to the body and head. Anyway, at some point in this fight, Hearns would catch Whitaker with a big shot. If he doesn't get him out of there at that point, he will have him hurt to the point where either the referee or Whitaker's corner would end up stopping the fight by the middle rounds. Hearns by 6th to 8th round stoppage. Okay, let's look at these two active fighters. Okay, first, Pernell Whitaker against Terrence Crawford. Pernell Whitaker against Terrence Crawford at 135 or 137. Okay, either one of those weights. 135 or 147. 135 or 147. I said 137. 135 or 147. Okay. Then we're gonna get some link time in. Okay. Now, Crawford is one of the active fighters on today's list. He is definitely one of the superstars of today's fight game, right? He is number 1 or 2 pound for pound among current fighters, depending on who you talk to or which pound for pound list you're looking at. Crawford is one of only 5 fighters to be undisputed in 2 weight divisions in the 4-belt era. He is currently the WBA and WBO junior middleweight champion, I think. Is he WBA? I know he's got at least one of them. Anyway, he's a champion at junior middleweight. Currently, he's 41 wins, no losses. 31 wins by knockout, okay? Not too bad of a knockout rate. Let me see. 41 wins, 31 knockout. That's like, might be 80-something. 76, wow. That's not bad. 76% knockout rate for Bud. God damn. Excuse me for a minute. Come on. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'm just going right here. I might need to calculate it again. I knocked it way over there. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah. Pernell Whitaker versus Terrence Crawford. One of the 2 active fighters. Always got to put some active guys in the game. Yeah, Crawford is 76% knockout rate, but he's 41-0. Okay. Now, where was it? I lost my place. Where was it? Let's talk fashion. Help me find my place. There we go. Now, Crawford has been competing professionally since 2008. Now, prime versus prime. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker versus Terrence Bud Crawford. 135 or 147. Who wins? I picked Crawford at both weights. Bud is more precise than Whitaker is when he's punching, and Bud manages distance better. Okay? Now, Whitaker has better reflexes than Crawford, but that's about it. Sweet Pea's defense was incredible, including his high-level upper body movement, but an accurate puncher with great timing like Bud Crawford would catch Whitaker at the end of his jab consistently throughout the fight. Now, of course, Sweet Pea can make adjustments, but Bud can too. Crawford wins by decision at both weights, okay? I got Bud over Sweet Pea at 135 or 147. Wide too. 12 rounds, 8-4. What's that, 116, 112? Yeah, I got Bud. Not, comfortably beating Sweet Pea. Yep. And finally, the other active fighter is Pernell Whitaker versus Vasily Lomachenko. Pernell Whitaker versus Vasily Lomachenko. Okay. Oh wow, look at that. Almost right on 3:30 on the dot. That's good. Okay, but anyway, Vasily Lomachenko, this is at 135 lightweight. Loma has never been above that. Probably shouldn't have came above 130, to be honest. But Lomachenko is the other currently active fighter among today's fantasy matchup, along with Terence Crawford. Now, Lomachenko currently has a professional record of 18 wins, 3 losses, with 12 wins by knockout. Lomachenko had a decorated amateur career, including 300 wins and 2 Olympic gold medals. The hypothetical fight between Pernell Whitaker and Vasily Lomachenko would be fascinating, given both fighters' exceptional skills and style. Now, Lomachenko is renowned for his footwork, speed, and technical skills. Okay, he is an agile fighter with a unique ability to create angles and effectively use his combinations. Now, Loma has achieved significant success in a relatively short career, winning world titles in 3 weight classes, and is often noted for his boxing IQ. Now, in terms of style, Whitaker's defensive skills could potentially neutralize Loma's offensive output, while Loma's movement and angles could pose challenges for Whitaker. Now, I got Whitaker by unanimous decision. I don't think Lomachenko would beat many all-time greats, especially at 135. Loma would always be at a size disadvantage at 135. And what is that word? Wow, it was getting late now to get my hand right. He has the talent and skill to compete with them and not get blown away. But I think Loma is overrated at a level below all-time great. Okay? Sweet Pea would be too skilled. Defense would be impenetrable. And he wins this fantasy matchup by a comfortable, unanimous decision. Okay? There you have it. I'm going to drop the link in. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Fantasy Matchups Monday. I have no idea what's happening the rest of the week. But yeah, we're going to have something for you tomorrow. Wednesday, I believe, is, you know how last Wednesday was Jarrell Hattie wanted to have the some of the best showmen in boxing history. I did all former fighters. So Wednesday is probably going to be the best showman among active boxers. Okay, that's actually fighting today. I got tomorrow written down somewhere, but I'll find it eventually. But let me put the link in to get, if I can get some thoughts and stuff on today's matchups. Okay, appreciate everybody listening, giving me your support. This link in there, and what y'all think about Shaki and Conceição? I thought Conceição looked great, man. I think he kind of surprised Shaki how good he did. I was looking for Shaki to come in there and walk through him and take his belt back. He took his belt back, but wow, he had a tough time doing it, man. Almost didn't do it. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. But Shaki is focused on the winner of Navarrete and Chavez too. So, but if he could beat that winner, I would like to see him back in there against Conceição. Of course, oh Lord. Of course, I think the WBC mandated the rematch between them. They're not going to mandate because the champion got his belt back, but it would be up to Shaki to give Conceição a shot. I think he should. And that would be a good fight because I think people want to see that again. They look like they might be two fighters that just match up well, man. You know how some fighters just match up well with other fighters? You just don't get no big separation between them. you would like look on paper and say, "Oh, Shaq is much better," but you don't fight on paper. You got to get in that ring and do it, And Shaq, he just can't get no separation from Conceição in that ring, man. Can't do it. So maybe we'll get it again. They both still active, so who knows? I'm here for it. Okay. Put the link in for y'all. For anybody. This is for anybody. Anybody. And there it is. Okay. And Just Do Boxing is next at 4:00. It's early in the week. Starting another big week of boxing history. I done lost my ink pen. And we got another JBT raffle going on. 50-50. It's cash this time. Whatever we take in, the winner gets half. December 21st. Like I said, you can get little Junior that Christmas present, or you can use the money and get me my Christmas present. Okay? I ain't hard to please. I take cash. What's up, Darrell Hattie? Darrell Hattie might win I know I'm getting half of it if Darrell wins it. What's up, Darrell?
What's up?
Not too much. How you doing today?
Good.
That's good.
I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
for the best like comeback stories or like inspiration stories in boxing. Like B-Hops,
yeah,
$1 Million Baby, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was another lady you said she was like one of the first females to ever box professionally.
Oh yeah, Barbara.
Stuff like that.
Barbara Buttrick. Yeah, that's a good thought.
And then like even talking about like how, like you said, 2012. That's when they first started Olympics.
Yeah, for the women.
For women.
For the women. Yeah.
That was a surprise. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. They put them in it in 1904 as like a demonstration sport, men and women, but they kept the men, but they didn't let the women in until like 100 years later. I don't know why. What's up, Remo? Remo's up here too. I don't know why.
What up? What's up,
not too much.
And then other than that, I was thinking like commentators, cause you had mentioned Paulie Malignaggi and the Best Showman.
Yeah. You didn't agree with Paulie. You didn't agree with Paulie, did you? Paulie just didn't have no power.
I'm just saying, like the Best Showmans in boxing. Like,
if Paulie would have had some power, he would have been nasty, man, because he had the moves and everything. Just couldn't keep nobody off.
He a game fighter for sure. He a game. Yeah. He could fight for sure.
Right, he just couldn't keep nobody off. People would just walk on up and on him, That was it. What's up, Remo? What's happening?
No, man, just hopping on here, saying what's up, man. I see you asking about Oshaki, man.
I didn't hear you.
With Oshaki, the whole situation with him?
Yeah. Oshaki.
I think we just been spoiled, man. When it comes to the smaller fighters thinking that we're going to get finishes like we expect from like those like Tank. He ain't just going to get them like that. So he was in a tough fight.
Yes, he was.
It could have went anyway, man. But it seems like he just pressed off the gas when it really mattered, man.
I know. I picked that up too. Yeah.
See, in his mind, he probably thought he had the round, and you know what I mean. But his coach was like, "Man, listen, don't leave it up to these damn judges,"
I thought he learned the last time, Shoot. And Conceição stole some rounds again too at the end, because Conceição kept pressing the entire round.
I never seen a fight like that where he was like, you know what I'm saying, pressing him up. But he's supposed, you know what? That guy's so damn smart though, man. Because like you could tell his veteran presence in there. When he was hurt, he switched to southpaw, bought himself some time to get his legs back. And then
you can tell he was a veteran fighter, man. Yeah. But they say he had like 400 amateur fights or something like that. Yeah.
He was walking him down with his hands up in the air, but still pressing his chest against him, pushing him to the ropes. So it was still a clinch, but with his chest. It was funny it was hard to look at. I'm like, what are you really doing here?
Looked like he had O'Shaquie confused a lot too.
Yeah.
O'Shaquie didn't know what the hell to do, man. Yup. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Would you like to see that one again?
Nah, well, not right away. Not right away.
No, yeah, O'Shaquie isn't. He want the winner of that Navarrete and Valdez too. That should be good.
But can O'Shaquie claim the king at 130 though?
Oh man, I don't know. Who else is at 130?
Ain't
the guy Tank get ready to fight, right? Ain't he at 130? Roach?
Yeah. Ain't what's the name got a belt? The Nick Ball dude?
Yeah. No, I think he at 126.
Oh, that's 26?
Raymond Ford just came to 130. He gonna be a problem there. He lost his belt to Nick Ball, but he stayed at 126 a fight too. But he was getting that Riyadh season money, so you can't blame him, when he lost his belt. He got a nice payday out of it. So
I like Nick Ball, man. He a little buzzsaw.
Yeah. I think he got a fight coming up. It's in the UK, of course. You know how them UK fight when they get a title, you gotta go over there and fight them.
Listen, they be mad at the UK, but the UK, between the UK and the foreign countries, they run in boxing.
Yeah, them people over there are fans, man.
They can say what they want, but them dudes is winning the belts, man. Usyk and all these other, Fury, all these other names. It ain't really that Americans ain't really, carrying the torch like we once did.
No, they not. You're right about that.
They going to basketball.
I know.
Well,
football getting all the heavyweights now.
Yeah, they going to the real money.
Yep, all them big guys, they linebackers and stuff. They're supposed to be boxers.
Yeah, listen, if you could be athletic and big, they'll turn you into a linebacker or a tight end or something like that. Got good hands, got hand coordination to box. You definitely catch a football.
Yeah. What's up, Thomas Hill? Thomas Hill up here.
Anyway.
What'd you say, Jerome? Say it again.
Boxing was a small man sport anyway.
What's that?
Like heavyweights be, the most crowd pleasing, but boxing supposed to have been a small man sport anyway.
Yeah,
I think the heavyweights got too big. They like boxers. They didn't. The heavyweights don't give me the appearance of an athlete to me anymore. They're just big dudes, like
big monsters, man. Yes. It's kind of like a sideshow or something now. Yeah. Look at that big guy that just beat Big Baby, man. He looked like a wrestler or something. What's his name? Coley or something like that? Remember?
Yeah. But that's like, but if you put these heavyweights versus
Big Baby
yesteryear, them dudes look like super heavyweights. It's like a whole different sport, man.
I know. Yeah, like a whole nother division, man.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
But they couldn't do that because they don't have enough of them, to make an entire division out of them big, gigantic ones. So they got to put them all together.
To be honest with you, if you're going to use it as a sideshow, that's where they don't want to run, they don't want to jog.
I know.
Because if the heavyweight division had a cap, right?
Yeah.
Somebody like Wilder wouldn't have to be dealing with monsters.
Right, exactly.
He got the little bitty legs. Them little bitty legs with Tyson Fury leaning on top of you for 12 rounds ain't fun, man.
That's almost unfair, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the Big Bang Zang. His damn belly so huge, man. Come on.
I know.
What I'm looking at.
Has he ever done a push-up or a setup or anything?
He smoked cigarettes on his break.
Yeah.
Fooling around, man.
That's good. Thomas Hill? You might be quiet over there.
Thomas.
What's good with you, man?
Nice, man.
What he's saying, I kind of agree with the heavyweights. I think the heavyweights just blew up. I mean, hell, when you think about the big heavyweights back then, when boxing, when I was like a teenager coming up, hell, there was
kind of staticky, like a little.
Yeah,
but they're in the ocean.
Like remember the brothers? The brothers was in shape. The
Klitschko's.
Klitschko?
the Klitschko's.
Yeah.
But they was in shape, man.
Yeah, you're right. They was big, but they was in good shape. Yeah, they wasn't all just super big, flabby guys like Zane and that other guy, that big baby. They like they like wrestlers. You
They
know,
ain't man. We thought them George Foreman on them.
so they just ate a big gigantic steak before the ring walk.
They don't have to be in shape, man. I think ultimately that was the thing that Deontay Wilder had to deal with. He was as big as they were, but you wanted to have the same kind of regimen.
You kind of like staticky, like T Hill. We don't hear you too clearly, like. Yeah.
It sound like you on the water.
Yeah. Like a background, something.
Oh, that's great.
What do y'all like about Deontay Wilder besides like that he got the knockout, so that's entertaining. But like
that was it for me. The power. You know, everybody liked knockouts. And he was knocking them all out, remember?
Well, I think he was bringing the excitement back to the sport that was missing for so long. And then he had a good storyline behind him as well, because it's like he was driving like a Budweiser truck.
Yeah, and the longevity. He had longevity too, you know. Yeah.
What's the story though? He was driving a Budweiser truck, and what else?
He started late, and he said wasn't his daughter sick or something
on
like
top
that.
of that, the daughter got sick, so he decided that he was going to give boxing a shot, so he could find a way to take care of his.
You loud and clear now, T Hill.
Yeah. So that was pretty much the story, but it's the heart too, man. The brother had heart. You know, he came to fight. He came to entertain, and you saw him fight. You were going to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
People will say that he don't have very many skills, but it wasn't easy to beat him.
That's right.
It definitely wasn't easy to beat him, man.
He had what he needed, because he was winning.
Ultimately, I think that the fact that he started caring about how he was doing people, I think that dialed back a lot of the aggression that he used to fight, the rage and the passion he used to fight. Because you're ultimately going in there to do damage to another individual. That's how you make sure that you.
That's what you go. What's up, One Way Renzo? Appreciate you. One Way Renzo is in the building. He said he just subbed. Yeah, for anybody, hit the link. One Way.
But I mean, going back to what Remo was saying though, like they don't have any fighters at the heavyweight division that really pride themselves on conditioning. Where there are some of them look like they're in shape, but some of them just look like they could just hop off the street and go in there and fight. Because I'm nice with the hands, I can get away with it, and I'm pretty big, so if I hit you, I could do some damage.
That's true.
But skill, straight boxing, when you need to go on and go 12 rounds, a lot of that stuff fades than what you have left. What you have left in your bag. So, it was looking kind of promising for your boy, but he just didn't have it in.
Who's that?
For the one who Bacoli, Miller.
Oh, Miller, yeah. Well, he said that his mind wasn't in it, remember? He said he wasn't going to be around it.
He had a physique.
When he said that, I lost interest in it.
Miller wants to box with Shakur, man. He wanted to box cute like Shakur. That was his problem.
Yeah, you're right about that.
As heavyweight.
So this is a question for thought though, but be careful with it. Like, so you think if it wasn't no boxing, that like the true boxers, would you think they'd be shadow boxing still?
What?
Say it again.
If it wasn't boxing, like if it wasn't a sport, do you think true boxers would be shadow boxing?
They'd probably be bare knuckling or something.
Yeah.
Nah, that's something different. That's the same thing, just a different angle. I'm saying you can't fight another man. Ain't no.
They're athletes though, so there's probably some other sport they could probably do too. They're athletes. You know
Or
what I
they
mean?
just do a different sport, no doubt.
Probably, maybe, yeah.
That's a good answer.
You know,
Hey, Cass, I got a goodie coming for you. Not this week, but next week. I got a real
next week.
goodie for you. I got a
Okay.
I sat down with this is an exclusive. I'm breaking the news on here, first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I sat down with Lamar Roach Jr. and let's
really?
talk fashion.
The one that's getting ready to fight Tank?
Yeah, we had a talk, man. We got in his fashion bag, so next week that'll be popping out.
Next week. Okay.
Yeah, next Wednesday. Well,
Next
good,
Wednesday.
Good
Okay.
conversation. And, you know, I got to put my magic to the edit, but you know how it goes.
Yeah. That should be
Did
good.
you ask him what he gonna do after he fight Tank? Or that's too much?
Did he indicate when that fight is or anything, Remo? Or you don't want to reveal that? You still here, Remo?
I think Remo might be on mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be good though, Lamar Roach. That fight does not have a date or anything yet, though, right? T Hill.
No, it's gonna happen. I just don't know if it's a venue issue or if it's probably a venue issue, and
Okay.
you know, if they can secure it by a certain time. I mean, somebody said they
The link is for everybody, any and everybody. You know,
it's for you, it's for you, it's for you, and it's for you.
Be respectful, and you know, that's all. That's how we do it. That's all.
But yeah, I believe that fight will happen. I believe that, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, people will say what they say about this fight just to spare the thing, but in the process, they recognize that they're tearing down another young man. This man deserves everything that he done worked hard for. You know, he's a very, very talented fighter.
Yeah.
Talented fighter. And, you know, you got people over there speaking ill upon him just to sort up Tank.
And man, people are crazy because Tank is a small guy. There ain't that big much size difference between him and Lamar Brooks. So what are they talking about? You know?
Exactly.
Tank is very easy to be fighting at 130, regular, if he wanted to.
Yeah. And another
guy under the bright lights though, like I keep mixing him up with so many. It's Lamar's, it's Roaches, it's all types. They should call him
Roach. He went to raffle or something.
I know, right? But I know that this man is a fantastic fighter. He has a tremendous skill set.
Yes,
he's very, very technical. He has a very good defensive background and backdrop. He relies on a lot of things in the ring, not just one particular thing. So it's dynamicism to his game and to his bag. And people, you know, and this is the coldest part. You got people who actually been in a ring that are assaulting this man because they can't stand Tank or they got some agenda against Tank just to blow up him and blow up the PBC altogether just because they are effective at doing what they do. And that's crazy, man, because this kid is straight fire. Like, you break him down, you go look at his fights, man, you can see nothing but sound skills.
Okay.
Everything in the ring, man. And, you know, unfortunately, because he's fighting Tank, he's been targeted. Just to make... Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, what y'all think about the matchups today? Any thoughts on this?
The matchup?
Who you had on
today's show? Oh, appreciate One Way Renzo just sent me a cash app. Appreciate you, One Way Renzo. Appreciate the support.
Man, Cass, you had my boy in a lot of close fights because he didn't have no dynamic power.
Pernell.
Yeah. I was feeling the same way Remo just said right now, man. I think a lot of...
Cass?
Huh?
Yeah,
but
that's a good matchup. But
you know, a lot of them guys, man, you know, Well, a lot better than the guys he actually had on his resume and stuff. Though. It would have been a lot of closer fights back in them days, man. You know, them guys were legends. You got to understand, these not just normal fighters. I'm matching them up against legends, man. You know, best from their era. Best from their era.
We also got to acknowledge that he himself is also a legend.
Right. Yeah.
He fought everybody.
That don't make him that much better than these other legends, though. You know,
don't make him that much better, but don't make him that much better than him neither.
No, the fights were close. Nobody really blew him away. I didn't really have no blowouts in there. No, Hearns would have stopped him. Hearns got like 6-7 inches in height, like 9 inches in reach. I don't see no way Sweet could have beat Thomas Hearns, man. No way. And Hearns was just as good of a boxer as he was.
It would have been difficult for him to get Hearns. I think he definitely could have got Leonard, but it would have been difficult to get Hearns only because you have to tire him out, and if you can't tire him out, he will take it to you.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, man, Benny Leonard, Henry Armstrong, and Ike Williams, and
I would love to see the Benny Leonard fight. That would be a great fight.
No.
That would be a great fight, but I think that Pernell got more offense than Benny Leonard.
Than Leonard?
Yeah, I think he has more offense than Benny Leonard. I think that
Benny, yeah.
Can I throw one out there?
Yeah, you could throw one out there.
Him versus Floyd.
Yeah, I didn't do that one. You know what? That would be a good fight because Floyd against Sweet Pea would kind of be like a role reversal. You know how people always would try to rough Floyd up? Floyd might have to be the one trying to make the fight rough against Sweet Pea, you know, because
I think that sparring session that they had a long time ago, like opened Floyd eyes. So that lets you know how tough that Sweet Pea was.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
After that matchup, that sparring session with him, man, he started focusing heavily on defense. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure in that sparring match, it probably made it difficult for Floyd to touch him.
I would pick Sweet Pea in that one though.
I would pick Sweet Pea at 47.
47.
When Floyd's hands was a little bit more brittle.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But at 35, when Floyd could still slug and throw, you know what I'm saying? Because he had enough speed to really mess with him.
I would give Floyd the power advantage too over Sweet Pea.
Yeah,
that's the pretty boy. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think Sweet Pea, if anything, got a better chance at 47.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, because that's when Floyd's hands was really starting to bother him a lot. Then that's about every fight, you know. So yeah, that's a good point. They're different weights. Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand. They don't like really know what Floyd Matt that was out there putting people on that canvas.
Say it again, T Hill.
They don't know that 35 Floyd that was putting people on the canvas.
Yeah. Oh, he was a lot more offensive then. Roger had him, remember?
Yeah. Yeah,
his father was the one who brought all that defense into it. You know?
What was that defense against Sugar Ray?
Huh?
What was that defense against Sugar Ray?
Sugar Ray.
Yeah, he said his father brought all that defense into it. Like, what was that defense?
For Floyd. I was talking about for Floyd.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. I'm just having.
Oh yeah. His father did fight Sugar Ray, didn't
he?
Yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like the matchups, man, and that's the reason why for the subject matter, man, because a lot of these fights can be great fights, and we really don't know how to play out. And a lot of these fights would be fights that
what other people think too. Because like I say, that ain't how they would. That's just what I think. That ain't necessarily how they would go, you know.
Oh yeah. No, we just messing with you, baby.
Yeah, no, I like y'all input, man. Yeah, I like it.
I think that to me, I think one of the most disrespected fighters of his era and of his time and in the sport has been Pernell Whitaker.
Pernell.
I think people don't really give Pernell Whitaker the credit that he deserves, man. That dude was a great fighter. Tremendous boxer.
What was the problem the judges had with him, man? He got robbed. Wow.
Well, you know what the problem was. You know what the problem was. He had corporate conversion, man. And on top of that, he used to clown because, see, when you make people look bad, some people can't do that, bro. So they can't relate to that.
Yeah.
He can make people look bad. Like,
a lot of fighters look amateurish, man, you know.
He's one of few fighters that could be literally right in front of you and you can barely touch him.
When he had to move his feet, just move his upper body. They could bend over almost backwards as far as most people could bend over.
Matrix. You're right. He was out there doing the Matrix.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was something that didn't look aesthetically pleasing to a certain clientele, so to speak. Certain.
What do you think about him and Bud? What y'all think about him and Bud? I had Bud beating him.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
You think so, Remo?
Yeah. I just think, you know, Bud gonna get up with you, but for his size, depending on the weight too, he hits so damn hard.
That's right.
Because when he do hit you, whenever that is, because people gonna be dancing and all that shit. When he do get up with him, he gonna make him feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he got enough to keep him coming back, I don't know if he got enough thud.
I think you could put Bud. Bud is one of them fighters you could put in any era, and he would be great, man. Yeah. That's I think about Bud.
That's a true statement. But Oscar is that as well too.
Yeah, that's true.
And you saw what he made Oscar look like, bro. Like when Oscar was
and they gave it to Oscar, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave it to him, and he got knocked down, got outpunched, outthrown, outlanded,
out everything.
He still out everything. He still won the fight. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no.
Hey, I don't know. I got one more for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get my result first. I think Sweet Pea will probably make Pacquiao look silly out there.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason I say that is because of all of that charging for double, triple combinations at the same time. And weave, and he'll put him, give him one or two just on the exit.
Yeah, he would be countering him badly. Yeah,
all of that.
Making him miss. He did very well against fighters that came to him, was tried to stand in front of him and fight him and stuff.
Well, the thing is, you could also hit Pacquiao too. And Pacquiao in the beginning, like in the weight class that they would be fighting in, man, he really only had a 1-2. If you go back and watch his own fight, his 1-2 was deadly because that 2 coming was coming hard. You know what I'm saying?
He missed that 1, and he's gonna get counted.
But like you said, his ability to get countered is something that you would have to worry about greatly with Sweet Pea. And I mean, Sweet Pea wasn't no chump neither. You know, he had to pull some fights out by putting people on that 10 list. He just wasn't known for putting people on the field. So, you know, the accumulation of punches, him missing a lot, like you said, the missing is a factor too. If he can make
that's why I had him beating Aaron Pryor, because Aaron Pryor had a lot of output that he would be missing a lot, and that tire you out too, you know.
But those are great matchups, though, man. I would love to see them play out. Like,
you think he would have beat Aaron Pryor, the Hawk?
I don't know, Remo. What you think? You think? Yeah, I kind of lean towards Aaron Pryor.
I'd have to do more research on that one before I get answer.
Only because Aaron Pryor was a pull in that ring, man.
Non-stop for 15 rounds.
You know what I'm saying? Like that fight with Aguero, man. I mean, Aguero loaded up and hit him with everything but the kitchen sink. That man could not go down.
Not go down.
I got one more.
You went mute. You went mute.
He dropped off. He dropped off. Oh, man. Yeah. He must have got a phone call. He might be trying to give us a message. It's 4:00. Roy Jones next week, Monday, though.
Woo! Now that one right there.
Little Remo right there. He's back. If I can find my cursor.
Gotta bring him back up. But that man right there was dynamic. He was dynamic.
I couldn't find my damn cursor. There he is.
I was focused.
There he is. What was you saying, Remo?
Sorry. Stream y'all better count y'all days, man. But I was saying, a focus before injury, Thurman and Sweet.
Oh yeah, Keith.
Because I think Thurman get a lot of shit, but man, when he was on his A game prior to getting injuries and shit, he knew the whole counting system.
Yeah.
Getting hit and re-hitting somebody, and you know what I'm saying? And when he was one time, he was tough, man.
Yeah, he was.
He only had one loss, and he almost won. If he hadn't got that knockdown, he would have won that one, I think. Against me.
Because I thought he controlled most of the fight, bro.
That first round, that was it.
Boxing loves storylines, so they was gonna give him back, man. Oh, this old man came and good,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they like a storyline. And then the very next fight, eating pudding out of shore.
Got dogs. He's still talking about coming back.
Man, listen.
Because people will pay the same fight.
Yeah, they will.
His wife like Gucci and Fendi. That's the problem.
His wife probably wanted him to quit after Marquez. That fourth Marquez put him to sleep. His wife was in the audience crying.
Yeah, because he didn't look good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that.
They thought Marquez had killed him.
I've never seen nobody drop like that after a punch.
Oh,
like
man.
a sack, man.
Sack of potatoes out of a moving car, man.
It laid there for a minute too.
Oh, shit.
He killed Manny.
Yeah.
He didn't look
No, he was snoring.
Yeah. His son is in amateurs now. I haven't checked on him lately. I'm gonna check on him today, see what stage he at. He's probably a year or two away. If he makes it. Manny Pacquiao Jr.
That being said, and aside from like some of the speculation and rumors, the man is a fantastic example of like what you can do if you believe. Because I remember seeing him, and I remember when he first came in to the thing. He was that good because all he did was throw a 1-2, 1-2. But he was winning fights, and
he was winning. He had that will too, where not to the extent of Sugar Ray, but where he just wanted to win, man. Was a competitor. That helped Manny out a lot,
Serious competitor. I give him mad respect. But see, like, it ain't hard for me to give people respect. I don't understand why it's so hard for like people nowadays to give people respect. Like people, they down Shakur for the fight he had against De Los Santos, but ain't nobody ever made De Los Santos not throw punches.
Yeah, he won. Ain't that the goal?
But he didn't even want to throw a punch.
I know.
We're talking about somebody that loves to throw punches. He didn't want to throw a punch. So clearly, whatever he was engaged in the ring against was affecting him to the point where he said, "Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea that I do this."
Yeah,
that's crazy. Hey, before I get off of here, right, Cass?
Yeah,
I want to shout out Schofield's dad, man.
Okay.
Because he I heard on another source they were saying he was bringing in I think Ronnie Shields or somebody like that to take over in the camp as well, to be like a secondary third air, like, you know what I'm saying? Because
that's a good move. Yeah.
Because at some point in time, regardless of what, he was giving his son good advice. But sometimes when the relationship is tarnished, it's not the voice isn't heard the same way in any sport. Once the relationship has a broken part of it, the message is never received the same. And I think him not responding to what his dad was saying, get out of this fight safe, he wasn't telling him nothing wrong. But the kid chose to keep going in there, and it almost cost them big. Where it's like you be going from contender status, for a belt conversation to down at the bottom of the list all over again.
Yeah, back to the drawing board. Yeah.
So,
yeah, but that's I like that. More of them should do that, man.
Yeah. I think what's the name is another one. Rolly decided to bring somebody in, and I think Devin should be next.
I know. Or Teofimo too.
Yeah, definitely. While he still has his belt, because it's harder to do it without the belt. After the belt, they don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's all I got, man. I know it's
okay.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, Remo.
All All right, dog.
Let's
All
talk
right, y'all.
fashion. 10 a.m. Wednesday, right? Next week is the big one. But we'll talk tomorrow about what's coming up this week, right? Tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Okay, T Hill and Jarrell. What y'all got? We get ready to get on up out of here now.
Peace and blessings.
Appreciate you, Jarrell. T Hill. Any final words for the folks, T Hill, before we go?
Yeah. Remember that within this sport, these fighters put their lives on the line. And they train to get with it. Respect. That's not value what they need and what they put in because you don't like a certain individual. But let's hold everybody to the door that they deserve. That's what that's.
Damn, T Hill, you done just about went out.
Oh, my bad. I just said that's
just
the grand scheme of things, that they work hard to put themselves in a place and give themselves the opportunity to be successful at these things. So that's not valuable just because we feel a certain way of somebody else that don't have anything to do with them. That's all I got.
All right, T Hill, appreciate you. And salute to BN Boxing News in the building. Yeah, I thought he had killed him too, BN. Man, he just went down, plop, and laid there. Okay. But salute BN Boxing News in the building. Okay, we're going to get up out of here. It's time for Just Do Boxing. Hope everybody enjoyed Fantasy Matchups Monday. That's what I like. I want the input, man, because like I said, this is just what I think. I need to know. But appreciate everybody. BN Boxing News. One Way Renzo. Appreciate the cash app. One Way Renzo. Mike Grimm. Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz, and more. Jarrell Hattie. Ken Saul Love 1. Let's Talk Fashion. Technique. Terry Akers. Melanin Queen 27. Mike Mazik. Just Do Boxing. Thomas Hill. Miss Cass. Big salute to Remo, Thomas Hill, and Jarrell Hattie. My all-star panel today. All right. We got another one coming tomorrow on Tuesday. Because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Just Do Boxing is straight ahead. This is Cass Sport. I will see y'all in those JBT